Psalm 91 has long been cherished as a powerful declaration of God's protection, a refuge for those who trust in Him. In times of fear, uncertainty, and even spiritual struggle, it stands as a reminder of God's unwavering shelter and the promises He makes to His people. As we walk through each verse, we'll explore the depth of God's care, looking at how this psalm reflects His character, how His promises hold strong for believers today, and how we can rely on Him in every situation. Let's dive into Psalm 91, discovering the heart of a God who is always present, always near, and always trustworthy. Verse-by-verse explanation. Verse 1. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This opening verse invites us to imagine God as a place of rest and safety. Here, dwelling signifies a choice, a daily decision to stay close to God. For those who live in His presence, God becomes a secure refuge, a home where we find peace, even when the world feels chaotic. Resting in His shadow suggests that we are never far from His reach, His provision, and His care. Verse 2. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. This verse is a personal declaration of faith. Calling God a fortress and a refuge shows us that He is a safe place, one we can fully trust. In times of spiritual battles or emotional hardships, declaring our trust in Him renews our faith and strengthens our connection to His protection. Verse 3. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. This verse reminds us that God protects us from hidden dangers. The fowler's snare represents traps we may not see coming, and deadly pestilence symbolizes life's unexpected threats. Even when we're unaware of the dangers around us, God is already defending us, guiding us away from harm. Verse 4. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Here, God's care is compared to a bird protecting its young under its wings, symbolizing tenderness and warmth. His faithfulness serves as our shield, standing firm in every situation, offering us an assurance that His promises never fail. Verse 5-6. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. These verses confront our fears, both known and unknown. Day and night, God is our constant protector. No matter the nature of the threat, whether physical or spiritual, seen or unseen, He surrounds us, and His presence gives us courage to face any challenge without fear. Verse 7-8. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. These verses assure us of God's powerful protection. Even when destruction surrounds us, His protection sets His people apart. By faith, we see how He guides us safely through trials, allowing us to witness His justice without harm. Verse 9-10. If you say, The Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. The psalmist here emphasizes choice. When we choose to dwell with God and make Him our refuge, He sets boundaries of protection around us. It's an invitation to stay committed to our relationship with Him, trusting that He keeps us safe. Verse 11-12. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. These verses highlight God's use of His angels to protect us. Angels serve as guardians who watch over us and help us navigate life's obstacles. It's a comforting reminder of how God cares for even the smallest details of our lives. Verse 13. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. This verse speaks of victory over all enemies, even the most intimidating ones. Lions and cobras represent powerful threats, yet God promises that, through His strength, we will overcome them. Verse 14. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. God now speaks directly, reassuring those who love him that he will personally protect and deliver them. Our love and acknowledgement of his name draw us closer to him, and he, in turn, commits himself to our safety and well-being. Verse 15. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Here, God promises his presence in times of trouble. Calling on him brings an immediate response, and his help is always available. Not only does he deliver us, but he also brings honor, showing us that we are precious to him. Verse 16. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. This final verse speaks of God's blessings over our lives. The promise of long life symbolizes God's complete care, and salvation points to his ultimate rescue and redemption. As believers, we are blessed not only in this life, but eternally through his saving grace. Psalm 91 invites us into a relationship of deep trust with God. Each verse reflects his commitment to protect, deliver, and care for his people. As we walk with him daily, we experience his peace, knowing that he is both our refuge and our strength. By embracing these truths, we find that his promises endure beyond our fears and that his love surrounds us, no matter the challenges we face. Let this psalm remind us of God's faithful protection and the comfort we find in his constant presence.